This is Errol Flynn.
And Lana Turner.
The Gulf Screen Guild Theater. Presenting tonight, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And here is your host, the director of the Star's own theater, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone. The Gulf Oil Companies and your neighborhood good Gulf dealer welcome you to the Gulf Screen Guild Theater production of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It stars Lana Turner as Mrs. Smith and Errol Flynn as guess who? Mr. Smith. One slightly used thespian, known to the carriage trade as Roger Pryor, will portray the role of Jefferson Custer III, which is just about two too many. Oscar Bradley's music will embellish the drama, and here's a bit of it right now to start off our story. On September the 10th, 1938, David Smith married Ann Krausheimer. On September the 11th, they had a quarrel. But on the morning of September the 12th, they made up. David said it was his fault. Ann said it was her fault. On September the 13th, they had a quarrel. But on the morning of September 14th, they made up. David said it was his fault. Ann said it was her fault. Yesterday was February the 7th, 1942, and they had a quarrel. We joined them on the morning of February the 8th.
It was all my fault, Ann.
Oh, no, David, darling, it was my fault.
No, you were dead right about my brother. He is a bum.
Well, of course he is. Oh, but I shouldn't pick on your relatives. It isn't sporting.
Well, I called your Aunt Edith an old tomato, and...
But, darling, she is an old tomato.
Well, just the same. I didn't have to prove it. I guess I lost my head when you threw the sugar bowl at me.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that, David. My heart leaped up in my throat and just sort of hung there the minute I saw it flying through the air.
Oh, well, it was nothing to be frightened about. I ducked in plenty of time.
Oh, well, that's what frightened me. It really was a cowardly thing to do, David. You knew very well you were standing right in front of the potted palm that Mother gave us for Christmas. Now, I know you've never liked my mother, but there's no...
No. Let's not bring your mother into this, darling.
Oh, this is a free country. My mother has a perfect right to come into this conversation.
No, she hasn't. Not into my conversation.
Well, it's my conversation, too.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you something.
Oh,
now,
no, I'm going to tell you something.
Well, that gives you an idea of how Mr. and Mrs. Smith start and finish any day of any year in their married life together. But before we hear more about them, let's first talk about us, huh? You know, friends, as we here in America watch the war coming closer and closer to our shores, all of us learn to fear the phrase, too little and too late. So now that we're in it, we want to make our future secure by having too much for our enemies, too soon for them. Along with all of you Gulfers contributing to this great effort. For instance, within the last year, Gulf research scientists developed a new chemical which is being used in the manufacture of synthetic rubber. And all of you know how much the nation will rely on the synthetic rubber we're getting ready to produce. There are certainly thousands of ways American individuals and institutions are contributing to our country's wartime production job. Gulf is proud to do its share in as many ways as it can, just as you are. Because Gulf planned ahead, kept persistently at its peacetime work of developing more and finer petroleum products, Gulf was ready to do its wartime job and its regular one as well. That's why, subject only to the nation's first call, you folks who depend on your cars for regular transportation can buy the finest available petroleum products from your neighborhood good Gulf dealer at the sign of the Gulf Orange Disc.
Well, now back to the story of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Well, and so the Smiths had another quarrel. Somehow or other, David got into his new tweed topcoat, on which Ann thought she saw some dark hairs, and got out of the house at last. We pick him up as he arrives in his office and is confronted by his partner, Jefferson Custer III.
All right, Jeff, all right. So it's 11 o'clock. I burn my candles at both ends. I don't believe in the Easter Bunny. I'm forever blowing bubbles. I'm a mess. Now, please get that suffering expression off your face.
That's quite unfair, David. I only suggested that the members of a legal firm should have a little more regard for routine.
Well, I'd be glad to, but I can't let business interfere with the fights I have at home.
Now, it's a pity you can't be less aggressive in your relationship with Ann.
Oh, naturally, I'm to blame.
I didn't say that, but it does seem odd that you have so many quarrels. Ann is such a gentle person.
Gentle? She's the only dreamboat I ever saw with 16-inch guns. Well, What's on the docket for today? Any new cases?
Well, Mr. Deaver wants to see you. He's been waiting an hour.
Deaver? Never heard of him. Well, bring him in.
Well, he says it's a private matter. I won't stay.
Of course you'll stay. You know I never talk to a client unless you're around. Bring him in.
Very well. Mr. Smith will see you now, Mr. Deaver. I appreciate the compliment you paid me, David.
What compliment? I just meant that you're good atmosphere. Other law offices have marble statues of Alexander Hamilton. We have you.
Oh.
Mr. Smith, I am Leonidas Deaver.
Well, have a chair, Mr. Deaver. What's on your mind?
Are you Mr. David Smith?
That's right.
Are you the Mr. David Smith who married Miss Ann Krauzheimer in Beecham, Idaho?
I am?
Well, in that case, Mr. Smith, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, goody.
Beecham is not in Idaho, but Nevada. They just found out by a new survey.
You don't say.
Yes. So you and Miss Krauzheimer are not legally married.
Well, that could have to... What? Say that again?
You're not really married, Mr. Smith. Isn't that reprehensible?
David, that's terrible. Well, I see no reason for amusement, David. This is quite a serious matter.
Serious? It's hilarious. For 3 years, now get this, for 3 years, I've been pounding on the bathroom door and saying, hurry up, darling, get out of that tub. And who was in the tub? Miss Krauzheimer. Oh, David.
Hello?
Hello, Anne.
Now, David, if you've just called me up to start another argument...
Argument, darling? Why, nothing was further from my mind. Look, I got a great idea. Let's call off that bridge date for tonight and just stay home and be romantic, huh?
David, are you feeling all right?
Why, sure, I never felt better in my whole life. I just happen to feel romantic, that's all. Now, let's have an intimate little dinner, and you can wear that black lacy.
Oh, just a minute, David. Who is it?
Your dear mother, darling.
Oh, well, sit down and I'll be right there. It was Mother, David.
Oh, that old pest.
What?
I said, give her my best. Darling, you better get rid of her before I come home, don't you?
Get rid of her?
Well, I mean, we don't want anyone around tonight, darling. Let's have candles on the table. Oh, yes, put on some of that perfume I like. You know, the kind that makes my nostrils twitch.
Why, David, what on earth's come over you?
Oh, just wait and see. Will you be ready?
Well, yes, darling. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sweet.
Anne, dear, I'm so worried.
Oh, hello, Mother. I suppose you dropped in for lunch.
Oh, my poor little girl.
There's nothing wrong with me. What are you talking about?
You're not married.
You're crazy.
Oh, no, I'm not. I met Leonidas Deaver from Beecham this morning, and he explained that Beecham is rarely in Nevada, and you had an Idaho license.
Is that bad?
It means you're not legally married. Oh, my poor baby. To think that such a disgrace should come to the Krauzheimers.
Oh, calm down, Mother. All David has to do is marry me again. As soon as I tell him.
Oh, but he knows by now. Mr. Deaver was going to see him this morning.
Oh, of course he knows. I see the whole thing now.
Did he mention it when he was talking to you on the phone?
No, but he will. You see, he wants to be romantic about it.
Oh.
We're having dinner at home tonight with candles, and he'll propose all over again.
My poor child, I hope you're right. I've never trusted David Smith. Now, you listen to me, Anne. If he doesn't propose tonight...
Oh, Mother, don't be ridiculous. Of course he'll propose. I won't say yes right away, of course. I think I'll make him coax me like I did the first time. But don't you worry, Mother. As soon as dinner's over, David and I will make you an honest mother-in-law.
Now, that was my idea of a really swell dinner.
Was it, darling?
Oh, definitely. You buy the best canned spaghetti I've ever tasted. How about some more champagne, huh?
No, thanks. I'm all bubbly now.
Anne, there's something I'd like to say to you.
Yes, David.
Come here, darling.
There. Now, what do you want to tell me?
Anne.
Yes?
Gee, you smell good.
Oh. David, I was thinking today, how would you like to go to Beecham on our next vacation?
Oh, now don't change the subject. Oh, there's something about you tonight that goes right to my nose.
Oh.
Seductive. That's what that perfume is. Oh, dear. When I first met you in Beecham, you smelled of hay and Castile soap, remember?
Did I tell you that Mother was here today? We had quite a chat.
Oh, I bet you did. Oh, that reminds me.
Yes, David.
Anne, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes, David.
How can a girl with a mother like yours smell so nice?
Well, I believe I will take some more champagne.
That's the spirit. Look, why don't we take the bottle and a couple of glasses and go into the other room, We'll turn the little radio on nice and low.
David, I want to tell you something.
Oh, but none of that swing stuff. Tonight I'd settle for Wayne King. Come on.
David Smith, you'd better listen to me right now.
Oh, must be pretty important.
It certainly is. I know all about the Idaho wedding license.
Oh. Oh, that.
Yes, that. Mother heard it from Mr. Deaver.
Well, looks like I'm out in a double play, huh? Diva to Mother to you.
You knew all the time and you weren't going to tell
Oh,
me.
you're wrong, sweetheart. I was going to tell you, but later.
How much later?
Well.
Oh, I should have known.
Oh,
it.
now take it easy,
You were
honey.
just going to lead me on, and when you got tired of me, you were going to cast me aside like a worn-out orange.
Oh, no, you mean glove. No, I didn't mean any harm, honey. Look, we'll go down to the city hall and get married again first thing in the morning.
Oh, and where do you think you're going to spend the night?
Why, here, of course.
Oh, no, you're not, you Wayne King listener. Get out.
Oh, but darling.
Get out!
No, you're just upset, baby. After all, a man's wife
I am
can't
not
just...
your wife. I'm Miss Ann Krause.
No, wait.
And you don't live here anymore.
Oh, sweetheart, you don't mean it. She means it. Good morning, Miss Lanning.
Good morning, Mr. Smith. Mr. Custer's waiting for you in your office.
Thanks. Hello.
Sit down, David. There's something I want to say to you. Briefly,
Really? What else is new?
Pardon me, I believe I'm getting a cold this beastly weather.
You should have your galoshes retreaded. Did you have something to say to me?
Yes, I just spoke to Anne on the telephone.
Oh.
I asked her to come down here to talk this over quietly and sanely. You're much too fine, both of you, to have this happen.
Oh, gosh, Jeff, this is awfully decent of you.
I'm going to take matters in my own hands, David. After all, you and Anne, you mean a good deal to me.
Jeff, I don't... Shake hands with me, Jeff.
Glad to, old man.
Jeff, you're the best pal a guy ever had.
We're partners, old man.
And you're the best law partner a guy ever had.
We were school chums, old man.
I'll say we were. Why, you were the best fullback Michigan ever had.
Oh, come now, old
Oh,
man.
I always said Harmon was a greater back, but I was wrong, Jeff. Why, that Harmon, he couldn't even touch you.
Thanks, old man.
Mrs. Smith is here.
Send her in, old man. Send her in.
This way, Mrs. Smith.
Hello, Jeff.
Well, glad to see you, Anne.
Talk to my lawyer.
The lawyer? What lawyer?
Anne has asked me to represent her in this matter, David.
What? Anne doesn't need a lawyer?
You're right, David, she doesn't, because according to the facts, you two aren't married at all.
Why, you sniveling shyster.
No,
you
no,
call
no,
yourself a lawyer. Someday an ambulance is going to back up and knock all your teeth out.
Now, let's not lose our tempers. We must face facts. You two simply are not married and never have been.
What do you mean?
Oh, I admit a certain relationship has existed between you.
Let's not go into that.
The law states clearly that should the woman care to halt this relationship and marry someone else, she has a legal right to do so.
Really? Are you sure, Jeff?
Oh, absolutely. Peterson versus Peterson, Huber versus Huber, Casey versus Casey, and Horowitz versus the state of Pennsylvania.
My, Horowitz sounds like a bigamist.
You're supposed to be a friend of mine, Custer, huh? And you tell her things like that.
I have never taken advantage of our friendship, David. It's only because you're standing here that I'm able to say to Anne decently and honestly, Anne, would you care to have dinner with me tomorrow night?
Why, of course, Jeff. Where?
Now, Anne, I warn you, if you have dinner with him tomorrow night, we're through.
Good. What time, Jeff?
Now, we're through, Anne. From now on, we're just friends.
The store club, all right, Jeff?
Any way you say.
Very well. Goodbye, Anne. And as for you, Custer...
Yes, David?
Why, you couldn't even carry Harmon's water bucket.
And so David flies into a rage and hauls down the curtain on the first act of the Gulf Screen Guild Theater production of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Before we haul up the Gulf curtain for the second act, we'd like to overhaul a very important subject, namely, how to make your car last longer.
These days, wherever you go, you're likely to hear folks talking about how to save their cars. But do you know, some of the ones who are talking about it are missing out on one of the most modern ways of making a car last longer. You see, in many cases, harmful dirt or abrasive grit may have worked into the very grease that's supposed to be protecting your car's chassis, bearings, and other friction surfaces. It can happen to any car, you know, and when it does, that car wears out far faster than it should. Now, Gulf has an inexpensive remedy, one you just can't beat at any price, called Gulflex Registered Lubrication. Since we're just about ready to hear the rest of the fascinating story of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I won't bother with technical details. But just you go to the good Gulf dealer in your neighborhood and tell him to Gulflex your car. When he gets through, that dirt and grit will be forced right out of there, and your bearings and other vital friction points will be packed with the proper Gulflex lubricant. Then your car will ride smoother, handle easier, and last longer. Now, one other thing. Gulflexing costs no more than ordinary greasing. But don't let this modest cost fool you. You can't get a better lubrication job at any price than the Gulflex job you can get from your own neighborhood good Gulf dealer.
And that's a tip worth following, ladies and gentlemen. And now for the second act of that RKO comedy, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, adapted by Keith Fowler and Frank Galen. Errol Flynn plays Mr. Smith, Lana Turner plays Mrs. Smith, and yours truly is heard as Jefferson Custer III.
Well, 2 weeks have passed, and Ann's date with Jeff has turned into a series of dates. David is frantic because he has heard that Ann intends to marry Jeff. And Ann is frantic because David is frantically chasing her all over town, which is a pretty frantic situation. Now we find her knocking frantically on Jeff's door.
Ed, what are you doing here?
Well, it was either your apartment or the park, Jeff. David has taken over my home.
Well, come in. Oh, you poor girl.
Oh, you're so understanding. Say, how's the cold?
Oh, fine. I think it's nearly gone.
Well, think again.
I'm so glad you decided to come to me with your troubles, Ed. You could count on me always.
Oh, thanks, Jeff, and gesundheit a million. Say, young man, what you need is a little medical attention. Where's your liquor cabinet?
Oh, I feel fine, Ed.
You sit right down. I'll have you fixed up in a jiffy. Ah, here we are.
Ed, that's whiskey.
Well, of course. David always takes this for a cold or anything else.
Is that all for me?
2 big swallows now, and there'll be 1 less pneumonia case tomorrow.
But I don't drink liquor. I just keep that here for for friends.
You mean you never drink?
Well, I haven't anything against other people drinking it, mind you, but I just never seem to be getting around to breaking training. From my football days, you know, I eat 4 different vegetables a day.
But this isn't alcohol, Jeff. It's medicine.
Well, if you think I ought to take it.
I certainly do. Now, 1 big gulp.
All right. There we are.
My goodness, didn't you feel it? Didn't it burn or anything?
No, I've tried this before as an experiment, of course. Liquor simply does not affect me. My metabolism, I believe.
Well, I've never seen anyone hold it like that. Oh, I don't think 1 is going to do you any good.
Oh, now, Anne,
well, it's all medicine. Kills the germs. Come on, drink up now.
Very well. Your health.
What a constitution.
Do you know, I believe my cold is gone.
Well, I never saw anyone in my life who could swallow whiskey like that.
Oh, I imagine it's common among cases of high tamabolism.
I know. High what?
Tamabolism.
Uh-oh.
My, it's harming wear, don't you think?
Maybe that second one was too much.
Oh, nonsense, my dear. Miss Ann, may I leave your bag for a moment?
Well, certainly.
I find a cold shower counteracts the effect of alcohol, so if yours...
Jeff, speak to me. Jeff, wake up. Oh, dear. Jeff. Coming.
Is this Mr. Jefferson Custer III's apartment?
Yes, that's here on the floor. Won't you come in?
May I ask just what is going on in here?
Oh, too much whiskey. Here, help me get his clothes off.
Very well. I beg your pardon.
Oh, now, really, don't be stuffy. Say, who are you anyway?
I am his mother.
His mother? Oh, please, Mrs. Custer, let me explain. You see,
As a matter of fact, I insist that you do.
Yes, well, I'm a friend of his, and we... Oh, look, I think he's coming, too. Jeff, are you all right, Jeff?
Oh, yes, I think so. Oh, my mother, Where did you come from?
From Newport, and rather opportunely, it seems. Jefferson, who is this woman?
Well, she... now, wait a minute. Don't get the wrong impression, Mother. Anne is a very dear, sweet girl, and none of this is her fault at all. She was only trying to help.
Indeed?
Miss Krausheimer happens to be a very good friend of mine. More than a friend, I might add.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact, Anne and I are going to be married.
Married? Oh, well, that's different, my dear. I am so sorry for what I've said. I know that if my son wants you to be his wife, you're everything you should be.
Thank you.
Oh, my, this is our busy day, isn't it? Would you answer the door, Anne?
Of course.
So, I thought you'd be here.
David, don't you dare make a scene because Jeff's mother's here.
Oh,
now,
she is?
Please, David.
Who is it, Anne? Oh, hello, David.
Hello.
Mother, come here. This is my partner, David Smith.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Smith? Jeff's written me so much about you. I presume you know Miss Krausheimer?
Yes, we met some time ago.
Oh, I've just heard the news, Mr. Smith. Isn't it thrilling? But I suppose it's an old story to you.
Oh, yes. Older than you think, Mrs. Custer. Hey, Krause?
Well,
where are you going on your honeymoon, Jeff? Bermuda?
Bermuda? Oh, I wouldn't advise that. Anne's an awful sailor. Say, Krause, remember the trip we took on the Albany night boat, huh?
The Albany night boat?
Yeah. Now, if you do take a boat trip, Jeff, you'll have to put her to bed and hold a hot water bottle on her stomach.
Oh!
I know, brother. Believe me. Why, all night long.
You see, he considers himself a medical authority, Mrs. Custer.
Really?
David, don't you think you ought to be leaving?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I just dropped in to ask Krause if my shorts were back from the laundry yet.
Your shorts?
Krause, Anne sort of took care of his things around the house.
Yes, little household things.
Yeah, best little housekeeper you ever saw. Jeff's a lucky man, Mrs. Custer. I wish you were going to marry me.
You do, Mr. Smith?
Why, you bet. Oh, Krause's quite a girl. Believe me, I ought to know. After all, I've been sitting across a breakfast table from her for 3 solid years.
Oh, Jefferson, it's time that I was running along. I'd like to see you later, if you don't mind, in private. Goodbye.
David Smith, I hate you.
That was downright mean, David. However, it will do you no good. I intend to marry Anne before this month is out.
Before this week is out.
Well, what's the matter with tonight, right now?
By gad, that's a good idea.
It certainly is. We'll be married tonight. You mean tonight?
Why, sure. Jeff and I know a justice of the peace who lives right in this neighborhood. He can be over here in 5 minutes with a special license.
Oh, but this is so sudden.
Yes, but it will settle things once and for all. I'll go inside and phone him. In 5 minutes, we'll be man and wife.
Well, Anne, I hear you're getting married. Congratulations.
You
That's
engineered this, you sneak. Marrying me off to that man.
Well, I thought you loved him.
I do love him. I love him madly. But how do I know whether I want to marry him?
Oh, I'm not going to let you do to good old Jeff what you've done to me. His reputation must be protected.
You are a...
Yeah, I know. Rhymes with mouse, huh?
Well, it's all settled. The justice will be over in a couple of minutes with a special license.
Ah, fine. And just to show you there's no hard feelings, I'll be the best man. Well, let's have a little drink to your happiness, huh?
You know I never drink.
Oh, come on. Now a man only gets married now and then.
Jeff doesn't drink, David. Liquor does things to him.
Why, Anne, you know liquor doesn't affect me. If you're referring to what happened before, well, it must have been something I ate.
Oh, sure. That's all it was. Why, old Jeff can handle any amount of liquor. It's the food that throws him every time.
Absolutely.
Remember the night after we won that Harrington case, Jeff?
Oh.
We thought we ought to celebrate, so we sent out for a salami sandwich and 5 bottles of vodka.
And what happened?
Poor old Jeff passed out cold. The salami went right to his head.
You know, I haven't touched a salami sandwich since.
Well, but this is nothing but a harmless bottle of whiskey. Come on, let's have a drink.
Jeff, you better not.
Nonsense. It couldn't possibly hurt me.
That's right. We men know what we're doing. Pour a shot for all of us, Jeff, old man.
You bet. One for you. One for you. And one for me.
Is this your idea of a shot, Jeff?
Certainly.
Looks more like a barrage.
Well, my friends, here's to...
Pardon me, I'll answer it. It's probably Justice Flippin.
Well, Anne, in a few minutes you'll be Mrs. Jefferson Custer III, which is quite a bunch of Custers.
Yes, I guess I will.
Great old name, Custer, but it's not what it used to be. The best you can say for old Jeff is that he might die with his spats on. How do you feel, honey?
Me? I feel wonderful. I've never been happier.
Here. Do you want to be happy under my handkerchief?
Oh, David, I'm scared.
Oh, there's nothing to be scared about, Eileen.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure.
Well, here's Justice Flippin. You know Mr. Smith, of course, Justice, and this is the bride, Miss Ann Crossheimer.
Delighted, delighted. Ah, having a drink, I see.
Yeah. Yes, won't you
Oh,
join?
delighted, delighted.
All right. You say when. That's, all there is.
When?
Well, here's to a long and happy marriage. Down the hatch, everybody.
Ah, excellent, excellent. Now, let's proceed with the ceremony. Will the bride step forward? And the groom. Did somebody push him?
Oh, I knew it. He's down again.
Yes, that was strong whiskey. I don't feel it myself, but I can see how others might. Oh. Pardon me.
Oh, poor Jeff. We'll never revive him now.
I gather the wedding is off.
Yeah, I guess it is. Poor little girl. There she stands, Justice Flippin.
Who's those two girls with her?
What two? Oh, they're the bridesmaids. She's the one in the middle.
Oh.
Doesn't your heart ache for her, Justice?
It even burns.
Look at her. No rings on her fingers and a drunken sot at her toes. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sacrifice myself to revive her faith in men. I'm going to marry her myself.
You'll do nothing of the sort. Well, I wouldn't marry you if you...
Proceed with the ceremony, Justice.
Very well. You, David Smith, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded husband, wife.
I certainly do.
This whole thing is a plot. You made Jeff take that drink because you knew what would happen.
Well, sure, and so did you. But did you try to stop him?
Well,
Well, proceed with the ceremony, Justice.
You and Chris Hummer from Hisser cross him.
Crossheimer!
You said it. Do you and what he said take this man to be your lawfully wedded wife?
She does.
I do not.
She does.
Well, make up your minds. Do she or don't she?
All right, I do, but...
That's enough. That's enough. Then by authority of my virtue as man and wife, I now pronounce you justice of this county.
Errol and Lana, you did a great job. And for a splendid cause, too. We're very grateful to you for donating your time tonight so Gulf could give the money you would ordinarily receive to the Motion Picture Relief Fund.
Thank you, Roger, and we're grateful for the opportunity.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to appear on the Gulf program, Roger. Incidentally, I understand you've got one of the outstanding radio shows of the year scheduled for next week. Is that right?
That's putting it gently, Errol. Next week, the Gulf Screen Guild Theater will present Charles Tazewell's great script, Liberty's a Lady. One of the most thrilling, unusual, and timely stories ever heard on the air. As the star of Liberty's a Lady, we'll have with us one of the few actresses who could do full justice to this script, Miss Loretta Young. Oscar Bradley's already at work on a great score, and it'll be a much-talked-of show. So make a date right now to be with us at this time next Sunday, when we present Loretta Young in Liberty's a Lady. Until then, this is Roger Pryor speaking for your neighborhood good Gulf dealer and saying, how about a date for dinner, Lana?
You're on.
We're off. Good night, everyone.
America has a job to do, a big job, and every one of us must help in every way we can if our country is to win this war. You may not be able to fly a plane or handle a gun on the front lines, but you can help do your part by backing up Uncle Sam with money. Buy defense bonds and stamps. Every dime, every dollar you put into defense bonds and stamps strengthens your country, makes it easier to defeat Hitler and the Japs. So buy bonds at your bank, post office, or savings and loan association. Get defense stamps at the store or from your newspaper carrier boy and help win the war. Bud Easton speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is Loretta Young.
The Gulf Screen Guild Theater. Presenting tonight, Liberty's a Lady. And here is your host, the director of the Star's own theater, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone. The Gulf Oil Companies and your neighborhood good Gulf dealer welcome you to as timely a story as we've ever presented in the Gulf Screen Guild Theater. The story is Liberty's a Lady, and it was written by Charles Tazwell. Our star tonight is Loretta Young. You'll hear her in the unusual portrayal of not one, but 6 roles. In just a moment, Oscar Bradley's fine musical score will introduce Liberty's a Lady. But before we hear about Liberty, I'd like to say a brief word about victory. One all-important lesson that every nation at war must learn is that victory begins at home. Victory begins, for instance, in America's industrial plants, in her oil fields and refineries, and with every man or woman who is helping supply the armed forces of the nation. And perhaps you've never considered before the essential part your good Gulf dealer has in this great task. The good Gulf dealer helps supply the trucks that move food and war materials, and the cars that carry workers to and from their jobs. And through his specialized knowledge, he also helps conserve these cars and trucks. And that has become doubly important now that so much of our industrial effort is aimed solely at producing war equipment. Thus, the Gulf Oil Companies are performing 2 important jobs, supplying both the defense needs and the families of the nation. And today, thanks to Gulf's research and foresight, and to the experience gained in time of peace, we can promise you that your car will always be able to get helpful attention and the highest quality products available at the sign of the Gulf Orange Disc. Ladies and gentlemen, Loretta Young in Liberty's a Lady. On late February days, the thick white fog comes rolling in through the Narrows, clothing New York Harbor in a ghostly shroud. Familiar landmarks disappear, one by one. That bright torch of liberty on Bedloe's Island, the great skyscrapers, the custom house, the aquarium, until even the nearest bench in Battery Park becomes only a vague, unreal shadow. On nights like this, old sailors will tell you, there are ghosts who walk the Manhattan shore. You may hear the voice of Henry Hudson. Or the deep laughter of Peter Minuit. Or perhaps the rap of Governor Stuyvesant's wooden leg. Fantastic story, isn't it? Yes, and they tell even a stranger one. The curious legend of a beautiful and mysterious ghost lady who, on nights like this, suddenly appears on the shore out of a foggy nowhere. Of course, it's only a sailor's yarn. Ghost lady, indeed. Why, you and I would never believe that this woman coming down the path isn't real. She's as real as this fog. And just as real as that little girl curled up on that park bench. The little girl with the snuffly nose and the 2 eyes red from crying. Why, would a ghost lady pause, as this one does, to take a quick notice of such an unhappy fragment of humanity?
Hello there.
Hello.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Nothing? Oh, I'd never believe that. Not even if you said it and crossed your heart and hoped to die.
I wish I could die. Right now.
Oh. Then it's terribly serious. Come now. I'm awfully good at keeping secrets. What is it?
I'm a girl.
Yes?
That's it. I'm a girl.
Oh. Oh, I see.
And I hate being a girl.
Why?
Girls never do anything.
They don't?
Anything big, I mean. Boys can be soldiers or sailors and fight and be heroes and get medals, and
everything wonderful.
You know, it sounds very much to me as though you've been listening to some little boy. Why, girls are every bit as wonderful as boys.
They are?
Certainly. And they've done just as much to make this a great country. Now, look. The very next time some little boy starts talking big, you say, "Pardon me for pointing, but a certain man named Columbus would have looked pretty silly if it hadn't been for a certain lady named Isabella." And then, if you really want to put him in his place, ask him what would have happened to John Smith's head if it hadn't been for an original American girl named Pocahontas.
I never thought of that.
No, of course you didn't. Girls have sat back and let the boys take all the applause and attention because we like them, and it makes them happy.
Listen, what's that?
Music.
Where is it?
It's coming out of the fog.
Land, oh! I claim this land in the name of the Queen. I claim it for Spain. And I for France. This for England. For the Netherlands.
And what were those voices?
They're coming out of the fog, too. It's the same old fog that's been rolling up and down this coast since time began. From the Florida Straits to the Bay of Fundy, since the first explorers, since the first settlements.
Really?
Yes. You see, child, no word is ever really lost. The fog holds and keeps whatever it touches.
But I didn't hear any women's voices.
Oh, but you will if you listen. I can always hear their voices very plainly on nights like this. Listen.
Hannah Dustin, Priscilla Alden, Sister Madeline, Virginia Dare.
Virginia, that's my name.
Really, dear? Well, that Virginia was the first white child born in America. So you see, the boys didn't get ahead of us there, did they?
Are there any more?
Oh, there are lots more. Why, girls have been pioneers and teachers and soldiers and great humanitarians. Listen, child. Listen very carefully and hear how their voices were heard through the years. Speaking for tolerance, for freedom, for mercy, for justice, for America.
Anne Hutchinson. Anne Hutchinson. Anne Hutchinson. Anne Hutchinson, will you take the stand, please? Quiet! This court will tolerate no disturbance. Now, Mistress Hutchinson, can you defend this blasphemy you've been teaching in Boston?
What I have taught needs no defense, Your Honor. There is no blasphemy in the covenant of grace.
The covenant of the devil?
To me it has the smell of witchcraft.
Silence! The covenant of grace. What does that mean, Mistress Hutchinson?
It means that holiness is a spiritual state and not a matter of outward appearance. I have told the people of Boston they might go about in their plain clothing, acting soberly and decently, avoiding all semblance of vanity and luxury. But that was no evidence of their Christianity.
Indeed.
Christianity is founded on one's inner life. If you have the grace of God in your souls, you cannot displease him.
A woman's possessed. She profanes the scriptures.
Silence! Silence! Mistress Hutchinson, are those your words, or were they whispered in your ear by the devil?
They were given to me in a revelation from God.
Silence!
Silence! Mistress Hutchinson, I find you guilty of traducing the holy word. I hereby expel you from the church for having told a manifest lie, and I sentence you to perpetual banishment from this colony.
Your Honor, this colony was founded by those who longed for freedom of worship. Where is that freedom now? Tolerance has been killed by bigotry.
Silence, Mistress Hutchinson. I'll have you whipped and driven from the town.
Your Honor, there is no evil in me.
No evil? Is there no evil in a woman who believes herself wise enough to interpret the scriptures for men of great intelligence? Evil? Anne Hutchinson, you are the personification of evil when you say that God revealed himself to you. Why, you know as well as I do that God speaks only to men.
1776. In Congress, July 4th, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another. Molly! 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 Molly!
Yes, Martin?
Quick, hurry! Drop down behind the wall!
Here, take the water bucket. And be careful now, don't spill it, or I'll have to run all the way back that spring for more.
Tell me, have you gone clean out of your head? Running across the field with those British filling the air with lead like a swarm of bees.
Oh, pooh. Those redcoats can't shoot.
Well, can't they now?
No. And besides, they're awful shy. One poor fellow was hiding down by the timber lot, and when I lifted my petticoats to cross the fence, he shut his eyes and dropped his musket. Ah, the silly.
I swear I don't know why I love you. You're a shameless wench with no respect for the dignity of the tactics of war.
No, not at all.
What? I suppose General Washington had seen you.
The general has eyes in his head. He'd say that Molly Pitcher displayed the trimmest pair of angles in the colonies at the Battle of Monmouth.
You're a brazen hussy, vain, empty-headed, who'll end up on the ducking stool of the stocks.
Nah. You're behind the times, Martin. Tell me, how goes the fighting?
The British have retreated to reform ranks. General Washington's certain they'll attack again. I'd better look to my powder and...
Martin! Martin!
See, you were wrong, Molly.
Martin.
Some British can shoot.
Martin. Oh, Martin.
Don't cry. I don't want to close my eyes. And remember you crying.
I'm not crying, Martin.
Battles can't be won with tears.
Oh?
And we've got to win, Molly.
Yes, Martin.
When the attack comes, they mustn't take this gun.
They won't take it. I promise you they won't take it.
That's...
Martin! Martin!
Is that her? Yep, that's Moll Pitcher herself. What was it she done at Monmouth? Took over the gun when her husband was killed by the Redcoats. Congress made her a sergeant. That just goes to show you what kind of empty heads we got in Congress. Hero, shucks. Nobody know how and nowhere ever heard tell of a woman hero.
1836.
Article, which I feel should be written down in the Congressional Record of 1837. Women's place in society. Where, I may be asked, where is the true sphere of woman? My answer is home. Home, the highest, holiest place in which human agency can act. There was much wisdom in the advice given by an old mother to a younger one. Stimulate the sensibilities of your boys and blunt those of your girls. I would not have woman hide herself.
Mary Lyon. Mary Lyon. Mary Lyon. Mary Lyon.
Yes?
The gentleman will see you now.
Thank you.
Oh, come in, Miss Lyon.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Here, do take this chair by the fire, Miss Lyon.
Yes, do. It's cold out, isn't it?
It's cold for November. I'll wager the year 1837 will go down in history as the coldest winter.
Gentlemen, please. I didn't ask for this appointment to discuss the bad weather. Shall we come to the point? What is your decision?
Yes. Well, Miss Lyon, It's quite impossible.
Yes, girls have no use for a college education.
Our colleges ought to prepare young men for careers.
Yes, and girls don't have careers.
But don't you think they might have careers if they were given the opportunity?
Miss Lyon.
Oh, yes, I know. It's an indelicacy for women to aspire to an equality of intellect with men. You would stick her darning needles through her heart, wrap her in her quilting, and bury her quietly among the pots and the pans of the kitchen.
Oh, no, really, Miss
In the
Lyon.
Orient, I believe they have a much easier way of dealing with girls. They simply throw the superfluous ones in the river to drown.
Miss Lyon, may I say that your astounding behavior merely proves our point. Women have no place in our colleges.
And let me say I think you're perfectly right.
What?
Knowing your attitude, I would be afraid of any learning one of my sex received in one of your institutions. Therefore, gentlemen, I propose to build a college exclusively for women.
You're not serious.
Oh, I'm entirely serious. Since I last saw you, I have received promises of assistance. And if you gentlemen will make the journey to South Hadley next week, you will see the beginning of Mount Holyoke Seminary.
I don't believe it. Who would finance a wild scheme like that?
Sheer nonsense.
Perhaps the Lord himself has remembered our low estate and felt sorry for us. Good day, gentlemen.
A college for women.
It's the craziest idea I ever heard.
Why should a girl want to be educated?
Gentlemen, believe me, no lady will ever set foot in Mount Holyoke Seminary.
1863.
Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield.
Clara Barton. Clara Barton. Clara Barton. Clara Barton.
Yes, Lieutenant.
That soldier in the cot in the corner. He's hardly more than a boy. Nothing can be done for him, but if you'd speak to him, Miss
Yes,
Barton.
Lieutenant. I'll talk to him.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be. Oh, God, my head. Stop the pain in my head.
Quiet. Everything's going to be all right very soon, soldier.
What? Who are you?
Oh, someone you know.
You're Josie. That's who you are. You're Josie.
Yes, I'm Josie.
I kissed you, didn't I? I kissed you that night down by the gate. Remember, Josie?
Yes, that's right.
And there was a mockingbird singing up in the oak tree. Remember, Josie?
Yes, I remember. And he's still there. He sings every night.
Oh, I'm glad. I was afraid he'd gone away. Oh, my head. It's hot. It's on fire.
Here, I'll brush away the pain so you can go to sleep. There.
Oh, your hand. So cool. Where your hand is, there's no pain at all. No pain. No pain. No pain at all.
Oh, God, please take care of him. Along with all the others.
Miss Barton,
Yes, Lieutenant.
there's a new lot just being brought in. I don't know what we're going to do with them or where we're going to put them.
Neither do I, Lieutenant. But things like this must never happen again. Something must be done to care for the wounded and the sick at time of war, or pestilence, or fire, or famine, or flood. We can't stop these casualties, but we can lessen the suffering and the pain they cause.
We could if we had bandages and medicines and proper medical help.
And we will have them. There's a new organization in Geneva they call the Red Cross, and it was formed to give volunteer aid wherever it is needed. Lieutenant, I'm going to organize an American Red Cross, if I have to devote the rest of my life to bringing it about.
1903. Gentlemen of Congress, this country ain't going to the dogs. It's going to the ladies. Clara Barton's running the Red Cross Society. Dr. Mary Walker's sailing around in men's breeches by an act of this Congress. Susan Anthony has defied the Constitution and cast her vote just like a man. Yes, and out in Chicago is a woman named Jane Addams with some kind of devilment she calls social service. And down in Kansas is a lady hatchet man who goes around disturbing the peace by busting up saloons. Gentlemen, it's high time that us lawmakers...
Order! Order! Order, please. What is the meaning of this disturbance? You, madam. You in the bonnet. Who are you?
My dear Mr. Speaker, the honorable representative just referred to me as the Lady Hatchet Man from Kansas. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Carrie Nation, and I'm here to tell you that John Barleycorn will be the ruination of this country. I promise you I'll never give up the...
Women in business? Preposterous.
Hetty Green.
Well, sure, but don't you see she...
Women in sports? Ridiculous.
Helen Wills.
Yeah, I know there are exceptions, but...
Women in airplanes? Impossible.
Amelia Earhart Putnam.
Yeah, sure, there's her, but what I say... Women in Congress? Fantastic.
Senator Hattie Caraway.
Oh, yes, that's right, but don't you see... A woman in the White House? Impossible. Impossible. Well, I reckon you never can tell, can you?
No, mister. You never can tell.
What's happened? The music's faded away.
The fog's lifting. Moving on down the coast to wrap up some more American history. Now tell me, dear, are you still sorry you're a girl?
Oh, no. I'm glad I'm a girl. Why, girls are wonderful, aren't they?
Yes. And you've only heard of the most famous ones. Why, there are so many more. The thousands on thousands whose names are unrecorded. American women, unsung, unhonored, who with their men pushed back the wilderness, beyond the Allegheny, beyond the wide, muddy waters of the Mississippi, beyond the Rockies to the setting sun, cooking over campfires of buffalo chips on the Santa Fe Trail, knowing the desert heat and the upland cold, the driving rains and the blinding snows, bearing their children in Conestoga wagons that rolled over the dusty trails, singing their babies to sleep in Comstock, Silver City, and El Dorado, drowning out the war cries of the Sioux Indian with their lullabies, and fighting shoulder to shoulder with their men against the savage Apache, carrying on alone when the guns of Gettysburg were silent, knowing the agony and the pain of waiting for husbands and sons to come marching home from San Juan Hill, putting gold stars in their windows and locking up tears in their hearts after the Battle of Argonne. And today, still hoping the casualty lists were wrong, and knowing the lists were so efficiently and so inevitably right, after Guam and Wake and Pearl Harbor and Midway and Manila, greater love hath no man who lays down his life for his friend. Well, no greater love hath woman who gives up the one she loves for her country.
You know so much about women. Who are you?
I. Oh, I've been standing out there on Bedloe's Island for a long, long time. Another American woman who carries the torch for civilization. I was once a dream that was shared by a valiant few. A dream that 130 million people have made into a glorious reality. A reality that will always be invincible. I, child, am liberty.
Our thanks to Loretta Young for a performance that will always remain a highlight of the Gulf Theater series. Miss Young will be back with us in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, I know you'd like to hear just how you can get more miles and a longer life for your automobile.
You know, friends, on the chassis of an average car, there are more than 3 dozen vital wearing points that should be checked every 1,000 miles by a trained lubrication man to stop destructive friction before it starts. Yet, as much as you're interested in saving your car, you can't be expected to know about all of them. That's why so many motorists these days rely on the neighborhood good Gulf dealer. Because the Gulflex registered lubrication specialist knows just how and where your car should be lubricated. And in addition, he has just the right protective lubricants for the job. For instance, there's one that, unlike ordinary grease, won't injure or soften the rubber parts of your car. Then there's another grease specially designed to make your car steer easier and to prevent dangerous wear in the steering mechanism. In all, there are 6 special Gulflex lubricants that have been tested and have outperformed the pick of the field in the laboratory and on the road. These 6 lubricants are available only at your good Gulf dealers. And by the way, while you're having your next 1,000-mile checkup, ask your Gulf dealer about his additional Gulflex services. He can save you repair bills, too, by properly packing front wheel bearings, by lubricating your transmission and differential, and by several other Gulflex services. Just remember, to save your car, it's a good idea to let the Gulf man Gulflex your car.
Loretta, I really can't tell you how splendid was the performance you gave in Charles Tazewell's Liberty a Lady. Or should I say your 6 performances?
Thank you, Roger. And I enjoyed playing all of them. Before saying good night, I'd like to tell you it was a privilege to be a guest on the Gulf Screen Guild Theater once again. Because in return for our performances here, Gulf contributes so generously to the Motion Picture Relief Fund. Thanks again to Gulf, to Oscar Bradley, the fine radio cast, and to you, Roger.
Thank you, Loretta. Good night.
Good night.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, Love is News. Yep, that's the name of the sparkling 20th Century Fox comedy which is our offering on the Gulf Screen Guild Theater next Sunday. Starred in Love is News, we'll have a star combination that can't be beaten. Kate Kaiser, Betty Grable, and Jimmy Gleason. So don't miss it, friends, for it'll be one of the radio hits of the season. Until then, this is Roger Pryor speaking for your neighborhood good Gulf dealer and saying good night, everyone.
Here's a little item that we wish newspapers in Berlin and Tokyo would copy. Every day, more and more American companies are making it easier for their employees to buy United States defense bonds through the voluntary payroll deduction plan. Among the first, we are proud to say, were the Gulf companies, who rushed a truck through to Washington especially to get the necessary forms and papers as quickly as possible. If your company has a voluntary payroll deduction plan, be sure to take advantage of it. Then you can contribute regularly to an American victory by buying defense bonds and stamps. Don't forget your date with the Gulf Screen Guild Theater next Sunday at this time, when you'll hear Kay Kaiser, Betty Grable, and James Gleason in Love is News. Loretta Young can now be seen in the Columbia picture Bedtime Story. Larry Chatterton speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
How Green Was My Valley.
Starring the original cast.
The Gulf Screen Guild Theater. And now here is your host, the director of the Star's own theater, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone. The Gulf Oil Companies and your neighborhood Good Gulf dealer welcome you to the Gulf Screen Guild Theater, the Star's own theater. Because the money they would ordinarily receive for appearing here, Gulf gives instead to the Motion Picture Relief Fund for its needs and for the home now well under construction. You know, just 3 weeks and 2 days ago, the prized Academy Award was given to Darrell F. Zanuck's production, How Green Was My Valley. And tonight, in tribute, your Gulf Theater brings you the first radio presentation of this beautiful picture. Our stars, the original cast: Walter Pidgeon, Maureen O'Hara, Irving Pitchell, Sarah Allgood, Roddy McDowell, Reese Williams, and Donald Crisp, who won the Academy Award for his portrayal of Mr. Morgan. Before our curtain rises on Charles Tazewell's superb radio adaptation of How Green Was My Valley, I'd like to mention that when historians record the events of today, one of the most stirring chapters will be the story of how America's great industrial plants turned from peace to the production of weapons for the defense of democracy. And so it's only fitting that tonight we pay tribute to a group of men and women who have helped make this great work possible. They are the 2,496 employees of the Gulf Companies who, at this time, are receiving awards for long service. Ordinarily, these men and women would be honored in meetings of their fellows throughout the land. But today is not the time to spare. So their recognition is taking place in the oil fields, in refineries, offices, and laboratories, wherever their daily work takes them. In all, there are now more than 12,000 Gulf men and women who have received these awards. For more than a third of Gulf's employees have from 10 to 40 years of service to their credit. The veteran employees and all Gulf employees today are using the experience and knowledge gained during the years for the production, manufacture, and speedy distribution of ever finer petroleum products. Products that now help keep our planes flying, our tanks rolling, and our ships sailing. And we feel that in paying honor to our own people, we're at the same time honoring all of the people of America who are applying their many skills to our present great task. And so we say to the men and women of Gulf everywhere, congratulations. Keep up the good work. And now, How Green Was My Valley, starring the original cast. Oscar Bradley's lovely score sets the mood for this beautiful story of a man's childhood in Wales.
There is no fence nor hedge around time that is gone. You can go back and have what you like of it, if you can remember. And so I can close my eyes on my valley as it is today and see it as it was when I was a boy. Green it was then. In all Wales there was none so beautiful. Everything I ever learnt as a small boy came from my father, Willem Morgan, and I never found anything he ever told me to be wrong or worthless.
'Tis not only green, but a brave valley. You, my son, a true man of Wales has never bowed his head or bent his knee to any conqueror.
Yes, Dada.
And my mother seemed to be always on the run, always the last to start a dinner and the first of all our family to finish. If my father was the head of our house, my mother was its heart.
Fight again. And when you come home, not a word shall you hear from me, not even a look. Now then, drink this glass of buttermilk to keep up your strength.
Yes, Mama.
Yes, and as clear as the memory of Mother's voice is the picture of all of us sitting around the table. We were a big family, for I had 5 older brothers. They, like my father, were coal miners, and on Saturdays they would wash off the grime of the mines in great tubs of water brought by my mother and my sister Ann Harrod.
Wash your backs well, boys, or your mother won't let you in the house.
All that was in the early days of the colliery in my valley, when money was easily earned, when the black slag, the waste of the coal pits, made only a small blot on the green of my valley. But as the slag pile grew, so grew the avarice of the owners. Then, one day, the men gathered at the mine entrance to read a notice just posted, and their faces were sullen and their voices bitter. And that night at the table, my 5 brothers were silent and unsmiling, but my father went on eating quietly, feigning not to notice them. Suddenly, my brother Davy jumped to his feet and said, his voice shaking with anger,
"Do those fellows think we let them cut wages and not raise a hand to stop them?"
Davy's right, Father. The men are ready to strike if you say the word.
Enough, Yanto. You'll not be a party to nonsense. Enough now.
It is not enough, sir.
Oh, and I had no thought I would ever hear my own sons talking socialist nonsense.
I'm sorry, sir, but...
Quiet, will you? Hold your tongue at table until you have permission to speak.
I will speak against injustice anywhere, with permission or without it, Father.
Not in this house?
In this house and outside.
Leave the table, Owen.
I will leave the house.
I'm with you, Owen. I too.
And I. And I.
Will.
All of you, then. You have one more chance. Sit down, finish your dinner. I will say no more. Very well, then. Get your clothes and go.
Dada? Dada?
Yes. Yes, you, my son. I am fully aware and happy that you are still with me.
Yes, I was still with him, and I seldom left his side during the bitter weeks that followed. The groan and creak of the mine machinery died away into silence and was replaced by the groan and creak of men's voices. 22 long weeks the strike lasted, and as it moved into winter, the mood of the men grew uglier.
Anyone who is not with us is against us.
Any man who was not their friend became their enemy, and as my father had spoken against the strike, they came to blame him for what they themselves had brought about. At last, their desperation conquered reason, and a stone crashed through the window to fall at my mother's feet.
A rock through our window, is it? Or 'tis time someone talked sense to those men. Tell me, Hugh, is there a meeting tonight?
Yes, Mother, up in the hills. I heard them talking about it.
We'll go, you and I, but say not a word to your father. Tonight, I do the talking.
I remember how cold it was, how dark. As we came to the summit of the hill, the gale hit us with full force, blinding our eyes with the streaming downpour. The meeting was breaking up, and the men were moving away. My mother called to them over the rising tumult of the storm.
Wait, you men! Wait till you have heard me!
Who is it? Who are you?
I am Beth Morgan. I have come up here to tell you what I think of you all, because you are talking against my husband. You are a lot of cowards to go against him. He has done nothing against you, and he never would, and you know it well. There is one thing more I will say, and it is this. If harm comes to my Gwillem, I will find out the men, and I will kill them with my hands. And this I swear by God Almighty.
As Mother and I made our way back down the mountain, the wind shrieked through the trees over our heads, and the rain came down in torrents. As we crossed a small bridge, Mother grasped the rail for support, but the rotten wood broke under her weight. She pitched forward into the icy water, and I threw myself in after her to save her. So strong was the cold that for minutes I couldn't breathe. How long it was, I cannot tell, before I saw a light and heard the voices of the men. An eternity of time, an eternity of pain, an eternity of cold before merciful oblivion. I awoke in my bed by the window, and the window was open, and it was spring. Mr. Griffith, the minister, and Anharad, my sister, were by my bed, and whispering together.
What did the doctor say when he left?
He gave us small hope, Mr. Griffith. He said Hugh's legs were frozen to the bone, a year, 2 years, quiet in bed. But he wouldn't promise that he would ever walk again.
And your mother?
Oh, she is doing very well.
Shh. I think he's waking. Hello, Hugh.
Hello.
Just hello? Is that all? Oh. I think I know what's the matter. You weren't asleep, huh? You heard what your sister said about the doctor? Is that it?
Yes.
And you believed it?
Yes.
You want to walk again, don't you, Hugh? Then you must have faith. And if you have, you will walk, no matter what all the doctors say. Do you believe me, Hugh?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Good. Then, when the first daffodil appears up there on the mountain, you and I will go up to see it, won't we, huh?
Indeed we will, sir.
Indeed we will. Well, I must be going now. Bye-bye, Hugh.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, Anharad.
Oh, Mr. Griffith,
Yes.
will you be coming to supper soon?
Later, when you are finished with doctors and such.
I will hurry them away then. There is good you are.
And you are very beautiful, Anharad. I'm sorry. I have no right to speak to you so.
If the right is mine to give, you have it.
I lay in bed and read books that Mr. Griffith brought me. All the noble books that have lived in my mind ever since. And young as I was, I also read the hearts of my sister Anharad and Mr. Griffith and learned that they were in love. Then, one day, Mr. Griffith came for me. I put on the clothes that had been waiting for so many months, and on his shoulders I rode up the mountain. It was a bright, windy morning, and nodding in the sunlight were patches of daffodils. Mr. Griffith put me down gently on my poor legs, walked a few steps away, then turned and said,
Now, Hugh, my lad, walk over to me.
But I can't.
Where's your faith, boy? Come. What?
But...
I'm waiting, Hugh. Are you coming?
Yes. Yes, sir.
That's the boy. Easy now. Careful does it.
Look, Mr. Griffith, look, 'tis walking I am.
Of course you are. Didn't I say you would if you had faith?
I did it. Oh, I did it.
There's a good old man you are. You know, Hugh, you have been lucky. Lucky to suffer, and lucky to spend those weary months in your bed. For so God has given you the chance to make spirit within yourself. Just never forget that when you pray. Think well what you are saying, and make your thoughts into things that are solid. In that manner, your prayer will have strength, and that strength shall become a part of you, mind, body, and spirit. You've got your legs, Hugh, and the first duty of those new legs shall be to carry you to chapel next Sunday to give thanks for them.
And so, because I had faith, I walked again. And on the mountainside, I picked the first daffodils of springtime and took them home to my mother. In memory, I can still see them, standing in the doorway, my father and my brothers, their quarrel forgotten, and my mother, her hair now as white as the winter snows from that terrible night, all watching me as I walked beside Mr. Griffith, my face as bright and shining as my daffodil. And as the spring made my valley green again, that dreadful winter was forgotten, and the strike at the mine was settled. Wheels that had grown rusty turned again, and miners laughed and called to each other as they went up the hill to the shaft. But not all the men, for there were too many now for the jobs open, and they learned that never again would there be work for them in their own valley. So it was with two of my brothers. So they went off to America.
America, my baby.
They've made up their minds, Beth, my girl. And maybe it is for the best. Who knows now?
It's so far away, Gwillem.
Still, there's no work in Wales. In Cardiff, the men are standing in line to have bread from the government. And that is not for a Morgan.
This is only the beginning. Owen and Ianta now. Then all of them will go. One after the other. All of them.
I will never leave you, Mama.
Yes, you. But if you should ever leave me, I'll be sorry I ever had babies.
Why did you have them?
Why? Goodness gracious, boy. Why, indeed? To keep my hands in water and my face to the fire, perhaps. Now go along with you and study your lessons for the school examination.
That school examination. How I worked with Mr. Griffith's help to pass it. He came over to our cottage every evening, and sitting by the fire and watching him was my sister Anne Harrod, hoping for his smile, or look, or slightest gesture. But Mr. Griffith feigned not to notice her, for her hand had been bespoken by Yeston Evans, the mine owner's son. One night after lessons, Mr. Griffith went home to find her waiting at his house.
Anne Harrod, you shouldn't be here.
I couldn't spend another night without knowing. What has happened? Is something wrong?
Wrong?
Oh, you know what I mean. Why have you changed towards me? Have I done anything?
No. The blame is mine. 'Tis good that you are going to marry Yeston Evans. You could do no better.
Yeston Evans. I don't want him. I want you.
Anne Harrod, when I became a minister, I knew what it meant. It meant making it my whole life. That I was perfectly willing to do. But to share it with another. Do you think that I will have you going threadbare all your life, depending on the charity of others for your good meals, our children growing up in cast-off clothing? No. I think I would start to kill if I saw the white come into your hair 20 years before its time.
Why? Why would you start to kill? Are you a man or a saint?
I'm no saint. But I have a duty towards you. Let me do it.
Did I come here to hear sermons about your duty? Oh.
Anne Harrod. Anne Harrod!
And so Anne Harrod married Yeston Evans and went away, and with her went some of the brightness of my valley, and Mr. Griffith seemed silent and strange. I remember thinking about them as I walked to school that first morning. I had my new pencil box and my books, but very little courage. What a frightened, miserable picture I must have been as I stood before the desk of Mr. Jonas, the master. I can still see his ugly face, and still hear his oily, sneering voice as he spoke to me over the noises of the schoolroom.
Quiet, quiet. So, you are the new boy, are you? And what a dirty little sweep it is. What's your name, boy?
You. Morgan.
You will address me as sir. I'll put a stick across your back.
I was very unhappy at the school, for in the classroom I was the object of Mr. Jonas' disdain and tyranny, and in the schoolyard I was the victim of the class bully. But after I'd returned home with a series of black eyes and bloody noses, my father secured the services of Di Bando, a prize fighter, and Di carefully taught me how to defend myself. Then there came the day when those lessons were put to use. It was in the schoolyard, and I had bested my worst tormentor. Suddenly, Mr. Jonas appeared, cane in hand, and he seized my jacket.
Softly now. Dear me, so our coal mining friend has been fighting with his betters. I think I know the treatment for that. Master Mervyn, will you be so good as to make a back? Thank you. Now, my dirty little sweep, please to bend across Mervyn's back. Now, I will teach you manners like this, and this, and this, and this, this.
I fainted long before Mr. Jonas finished the beating, and I crept home that night, my back cut and bleeding. I was in bed for some days, but although my father wished to call on Mr. Jonas, I refused to let him. Then, one day after I returned to school, the class was interrupted by the sudden appearance of Di Bando, the prize fighter, dressed in his Sunday best, bowler hat and all.
45 in your book.
Good morning. Mr. Jonas, is it?
Yes, I am Mr. Jonas. What is it you want, sir?
Knowledge, Mr. Jonas. Now, how would you go about measuring a stick?
By its length, of course.
Then how would you take the measure of a man who would use a stick on a boy 1/3 his size?
Now, look here, I have no time.
Mr. Jonas, boxing is my subject, and happy I am to pass my knowledge on to you. Are you ready?
What do you mean?
Good. Then on with the lesson.
Get out of here.
Now, no man can call himself a good boxer unless he has a good straight left, like this.
Ah, help!
But always remember to follow up with the right.
Police!
But don't ever lower your arm like that, or you will leave yourself open for a right hook. Come. Man up with you.
Let go of me.
Oh, you can't win a fight lying on the floor.
Let go, I say.
Now, when you hit, put your shoulder into it like this. And this. And this. But don't ever use this because it's against the rules and breaks a man's nose.
And remembering still, I could tell you of the years that followed, of how I graduated, and then instead of going on to prepare myself for some profession, I chose to work with my father in the colliery. Yes, and go on to tell of my sister Anne Harrod, who left her husband and came back to the valley, pale, unhappy, and still loving Mr. Griffith. But those memories have almost been lost in one that still can be heard in my ears today. The hoarse screaming of the mine whistle, that dread warning of disaster, that called people from their houses and sent them running up the hill. There had been an accident on the lower level, and my father was among those missing.
This is the tunnel where he was working. You better give him your hand.
He's alive. He must be alive, Mr. Griffith.
Listen now. There. Did you hear something?
Yes, that way it was.
Past this slide of rock.
Quick, hurry, Di.
Give me room to swing the pick.
Careful! Here, you. Take this lantern and climb through.
Yes. Dada!
Yes. You.
Dada! We're here, Dada.
There is a good old man you are now. You, my son. I knew that you would find me. I knew, my boy.
Dada. Oh, Dada.
Yes, there it was, my father died. Died, did I say? Men like my father cannot die. They are with us still, real in memory as they were real in flesh, loving and beloved forever. 60 bygone years of memory. And can I believe my friends all gone, when their voices are still a glory in my ears? Is my mother gone? She who knew the meaning of my family and taught us all to know it with her? And my brothers, with their courage and their strength? And my sister Anne Harrod, of the quiet grace and breathless beauty? Are they not a living truth forever in my mind? And Mr. Griffith, that one of rock and flame, who taught the meaning of friendship? Did my father die down in the mine? Is he not still with me in his quick understanding of my troubles, in the wisdom of the advice which I never found to be wrong or worthless?
It is not only green, but a brave valley. You, my son, a true man of Wales has never bowed his head or bent his knee to any conqueror. Mind you now?
Is my father dead? For if he is, then I am dead, and we are dead, and all of sense a mockery. Yes, how green was my valley then, and the valley of them that have gone.
And so the curtain falls on How Green Was My Valley. Our thanks to Walter Pidgeon, Maureen O'Hara, Donald Crisp, Sarah Allgood, Roddy McDowell, Irving Pitchell, and Reese Williams for a movingly beautiful performance. And to Oscar Bradley for his great score. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in just about a minute, you're going to hear a message from Darrell F. Zanuck, producer of How Green Was My Valley. Meanwhile, suppose we listen to a young man who has this to say.
Friends, here's a little car saver tip that can do a lot to help ensure you dependable transportation for a long time. Do you know that driving your car, even for a short distance, without the full protection of proper lubrication, can easily cause more damage and wear than a long, hard trip with that protection? That's why it's a good idea to drive into your good Gulf dealers right away and let him Gulflex your car. The trained Gulflex man will replace the worn lubricants in your chassis and body wearing points with new lubricants. Not ordinary ones either, but 6 scientific lubricants especially developed by Gulf. These lubricants have outperformed competitive greases in both laboratory and road tests. So you can be sure your car is getting the car saver protection it needs. And the Gulflex man has master charts that indicate exactly which type of lubricant to use in each of the many points that must be protected. Gulflexing costs no more than an ordinary grease job. It's one of the most important ways in which your Gulf man can help you to take care of your car for your country.
And now it's a privilege to welcome to our stage Colonel Jason C. Joy of the 20th Century Fox Studios.
Thank you, Mr. Pryor. Mr. Darrell Zanuck, who produced How Green Was My Valley, has been detained in Washington, D.C. But he asked me to express the appreciation of the 20th Century Fox Company for this fine broadcast. I'd like to repeat the statement he made at the Academy Awards dinner, that no one man produces a picture such as How Green Was My Valley. It is the result, rather, of the collaboration of every member of the 20th Century Fox studio. On Mr. Zanuck's behalf, therefore, I wish to express the obligation of the company to John Ford for his masterful direction of the picture, to Richard Llewellyn, and to Philip Dunn for the inspiring book and the brilliant screenplay, and to all of the members of the cast. The fact that How Green Was My Valley won 5 separate Academy Awards testifies to the perfect cooperation and enthusiasm of everyone who worked on the picture, from prop man to star. We are all deeply honored, and thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Joy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, I want to tell you that...
Roger, what happened?
Oh, nothing, Bud. That's just Jack Benny rehearsing.
Jack Benny? You mean Jack's going to be on our show?
He is, if he can tear himself away from all the benefit appearances he's been giving night and day. So, ladies and gentlemen, treat yourselves to one of the funniest radio programs you've ever heard. Tune in next week on the Gulf Screen Guild Theater. Until next Sunday, then, this is Roger Pryor, speaking for your neighborhood good Gulf dealer and saying good night, everyone.
Americans, listen. Admiral Yamamoto, commander of the Japanese Navy, has boasted, "I shall not be content merely to capture Guam and the Philippines and occupy Hawaii and San Francisco. I shall also look forward to dictating peace to the United States in the White House." And 72 million Japanese back up his boast. Americans, give them your answer. Buy more defense bonds and stamps. Every dime, every dollar increases the fighting strength of your country, brings nearer the defeat of the enemy. So buy defense bonds and stamps and do your part to win the war. Walter Pidgeon is the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer star and will soon appear in their production of Mrs. Miniver, as will Reese Williams, Donald Crisp in Gay Sisters, a Warner Brothers picture, Sarah Allgood in This Above All, Maureen O'Hara in 10 Gentlemen from West Point, and Roddy McDowell in The Pied Piper, 20th Century Fox Productions. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.